Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Fayetteville Public Library's Storytime at Home. I'm Miss Alyson, and I'm coming to you from the floor of the brand new Storytime room where you will sit when Storytimes resume in person. But in the meantime, we are finally open for you to come in. It's a grab and go, so you can kind of take a look around at all the new areas, find your materials, and check out. We're not quite to the point yet where you're able to, sit for some time, but you do get to come in and take a look at all of the wonderful new spaces we have. So we'll look forward to seeing you here. But for now, I have a fun story time for you. I decided to pick some new picture books, which you'll be able to take a look at whenever you come visit us. And then I have a cute little fun craft based on one of the books to show you at the end. Should we get started? I think so too. The first book I'm going to read to you is On Account of the Gum. Move around a little bit so you can see the book better. That's the gum right there that you got in your hair. On account of the gum that you got in your hair, your dad said, "Sit still," and your sister said, "Duck," and you sat very still. Have you ever gotten gum in your hair? It makes a mess. Hard to get out. Still, the scissors got stuck in the gum that you got in your hair. Okay. We went on some websites, and all of them swear if you want to get scissors and gum out of hair, you take 2 sticks of butter and smear them along. Look at his face. 2 sticks of butter? Does that sound right? And, oh, I see. It appears that those websites were wrong. So now there's gum, scissors, and 2 sticks of butter in his hair. Don't give me that look. Your aunt said she knew how to get the gum out from this tip in a book she was reading about in the paper or something. She couldn't say where. The point is, that's why you have grass in your hair. I think I could have guessed ahead of time that grass wasn't going to help. Grass, butter, scissors, gum. Oh my goodness. Your grandpa, who said that your aunt was mistaken, is mostly to blame for the noodles and bacon. It's all in this bacony, noodly mass with the scissors, gum, hair, sticks of butter, and grass. Your rabbit eats grass. Look at that mess. What do you think's going to happen next? Yep, you guessed it. Because of the grass that you got in your hair, I assumed that your rabbit could help us in there, but your rabbit just sat like it thinks it's a hat. So I thought, it'll leave if I bring in the cat. Oh no. I'm prepared to admit I was wrong about that. Cat, rabbit, bacon, noodles, scissors, butter, and gum. Oh, I know what to do. It's a little bit mean, but the cat always gets really scared when I clean. Just watch. She'll run off and hide under the bed if the vacuum comes anywhere close to your head. Oh, my. Wait, no. I was thinking of the old cat. Your aunt just came back and she has a new take. It's cake! She thinks she can fix things with cake. Don't worry, we stopped her and showed her the door. I doubt she'll be coming around anymore. Though the cake that she made you wound up on the floor. Oh, that's a tragedy. Oh, no. That reminds me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday indeed, huh? Oh, and it's upside down on the floor. All right, let's get serious. This is the plan. We blow the gum out with a powerful fan. Plus, every few seconds, we'll pop a balloon. And the guy with the bees said he'd get here soon. And oh, I hear sirens. The firemen came. They complained when we called, but they came just the same, with their hoses and one of those dogs in a cop and a big pot of chili. They're ready to... What are they going to do with that pot of chili? Do you see it? Oh my. Stop! That's just taking it too far. Get out, please. Look at his face. Oh my, there they all go. The fireman, the cop, the balloons, the bees, the dog. Jeez. Look what hopped off his head. The gum. And he says, rude. So that's the solution. Well, what do you know? Too bad about all the rest of it, though. The rest of the stuff that's still stuck in your hair. Remember? The rabbit, the cat, vacuum cleaner, noodles, bacon, butter, scissors, grass. Forgot the grass. Whoop! Now your ant is all stuck up in there. How did that happen? Anyway, you'd better get to school. Because otherwise, you're gonna miss picture day. Oh my goodness. On account of the gum. Not the butter, bacon, noodles, grass, vacuum cleaner, rabbit, or cat. I love that book. Okay. The next brand new picture book I'm going to read to you is Mouse in the House. A van pulls up outside the wrong house, and out stumbled the two catchers of mice, Mr. Bosch and Mr. Bumble. There they are. See all the mouse traps he's got in his hands? Mr. Bosch reads the note stuck to the right door. Urgent, please remove mouse from house. Mouses shouldn't be in houses, said Mr. Bumble. Well, you go in and set the traps, and snap, that will be that, said Mr. Bosch. But the mouse is too clever. The traps only catch something that steps on them. Look at that. He lowered himself from the ceiling on a little string. Very clever indeed. I can't hear anything, says Mr. Bumble. Well, go in and see if that's that, said Mr. Bosch. Right-o, Mr. Bosch, says Mr. Bumble. Squeak, 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 squeak his shoes. Snap, 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 snap the traps. Ouch, 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 yells Mr. Bumble. I forgot about those traps. Never mind that, says Mr. Bosch. That mouse is clever. Go and get a cat instead. And that will be that. Look, he's even got a mousetrap stuck to his nose. Owie! What's that? That is not a cat, says Mr. Bosch. It's nearly a cat, said Mr. Bumble. It's a dog, said Mr. Bosch. Ah, but not just a dog, says Mr. Bumble. It's a guard dog, specially trained to protect houses from intruders. Okay, says Mr. Bosch. Put it in the house. Looks like a vicious guard dog indeed. But the dog isn't interested in the mouse. The dog is only interested in intruders. And look, sure enough, the mouse is just running circles around him. I can't see anything, says Mr. Bumble. Well, go in and find out if that's that, says Mr. Bosch. Righty-o, Mr. Bosch, says Mr. Bumble. I don't think this is going to turn out very well. Squeak, 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 squeak his shoes. Woof, 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 barks the dog. Oh, 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 yells Mr. Bumble. The dog is really well trained. Never mind that, says Mr. Bosch. I told you to go and get a cat, and that will be that. See how he's got his leg in his mouth? What's that? That is not a cat, says Mr. Bosch. It is, says Mr. Bumble. It's a big cat. It's a tiger, says Mr. Bosch. Ah, but it's still a cat, says Mr. Bumble, and soon it will be hungry. All right, Mr. Bosch says, put it in the house. Whoa, that's a grumpy-looking tiger. But the tiger isn't interested in the mouse. The tiger is only interested in bigger things to eat. And look, sure enough, see the mouse taking a nap? I can't hear or see anything, says Mr. Bumble. Well, go in and check that. That's that, says Mr. Bosch. Righty-o, Mr. Bosch, says Mr. Bumble. What do you think's going to happen now? Squeak, 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 squeak his shoes. Grr, 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 growls the tiger. Help, 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 yells Mr. Bumble. The tiger did get hungry. Never mind that, says Mr. Bosch. Will you now go and get that cat? And that will be that. Look at him pulling Mr. Bumble out of the tiger's mouth. Now what? That is most definitely not a cat, says Mr. Bosch. Well, it's the next best thing, says Mr. Bumble. It's an elephant, says Mr. Bosch. And aren't elephants frightened of mice? I don't know about that, says Mr. Bumble, but I do know it will squash the mouse flat, and that will be that. Right, says Mr. Bosch. Put it in the house. How do you think this plan's going to work? But the elephant is indeed frightened of mice. It takes one look at the mouse, see it way down there, and charges through the walls, up the stairs, and falls straight through the floor. Crash! Oh my goodness. Bringing the whole house down flat. Whoa, what a mess. Can you see the mouse anywhere in there? Oh, there he goes. And that, in the end, is that. You see the mouse hopping away from the flattened house? Looks like he's going to head to the one next door. Says end, and no animals were harmed in the making of this book. All right. One more, and then I'll show you the fun craft that actually goes with this book. This is called the box turtle. When the little box turtle hatched, his parents noticed something missing. Oh, me! Oh, my! What's he missing? He's missing his shell. But they weren't dismayed. They gave him a name and a shell, both of which fit just right. Now remember, Terrence, you are so much more than just a shell. What'd they put on him? It's a box. He is a box turtle after all. Terrence's shell kept him dry on the soggiest days, safe from the snoopiest strangers, and on the scariest nights. See the owl? Hoo-hoo! There's a little crab. It was big enough to share. Terrence loved his shell. I like that picture. Until one day, one of the other little box turtles says, "Your shell is weird." That's not a nice thing to say. Suddenly, Terrence's shell seemed too boring, too bizarre, and too big for the little box turtle to bear. Poor guy. So he abandoned it to search for something better. Look at that, the raccoon's checking it out. Terrence searched high and low until, wowie, his new shell looked sleek. What did he find? It's a mailbox, isn't it? Eek! But it showed too much cheek. You see the mailman putting mail in the back? The search continued. He looked classy. He looked sassy. He's found him a hat box. He looked just like Grandma Mildred. He looked for another shell. He does look fancy, though. Oh, yeah! He found it. A perfect polka dotty package. Now, do you know what that toy is? It's a classic. It's been around for a long time. It's a Jack-in-the-Box. Pop! That was positively petrifying. I would think so, too. Look at Terrence's face. Terrence tried shell after shell after shell after shell, but nothing fit. Let's see what all he tries. Look, there's a little boom box and a suitcase, a flower box, and a treasure chest. Yeah, none of those are just quite right. This whole situation stunk a lot. Look at that box. Can you tell what that is? It's a litter box. That's it. I give up. Here you go, says his friend the crab. Look, he's trying to give him his shell. Oh, that's a nice thing to do. Oh, wow. In that moment, the hermit crab showed what it meant to be a friend. The little crustacean was so much more than just a shell, and maybe Terrence was too. Terrence knew what he needed. That's being a good friend. But when he found his old shell, oh no, it had changed. It's not looking in real good shape, is it? Well, it's okay. We can fix it, said the hermit crab. Oh, I wonder what they're going to do to it. Let's see. Terrence patched on soggy days. He toiled on chilly nights. There he's working. Got a hammer and some tape. The task grew big enough to share. Finally, the shell was finished. Look at that. He's painted stripes on it. That's pretty good looking. It wasn't sleek or sassy. It was far from perfect and definitely weird. But Terrence wasn't dismayed because this little box turtle was so much more than just his shell. The end. And looky there, his little hermit crab friend built himself a box. And the raccoon's got a little bit of paint on his backside. How about that? Isn't that a nice book with a neat message? Yeah. All right. Well, to go along with Terrence the box turtle, I'm going to encourage you to make your own box turtle. Here's mine. This is just one of those little tiny cereal boxes. You know how you can get a multi-pack of all the different flavors of cereal? You can use, this is a really great upcycling project. You can look around your house and kind of a scavenger hunt and see what materials you can use for this project. So you'll just need some green construction paper, and you'll just cut feet and a head, and I put a little smiley on mine because he's such a friendly, happy little fellow. And then I wanted to start with a blank box, so I turned the little cereal box inside out. So I just cut it until it was flat, and I just simply folded it up inside out and taped it back together. And actually, I don't know, it's a pretty brightly colored box. It might be kind of fun just to leave it as it is. You can use little tiny jewelry boxes that you get from the jewelry store, or the little boxes that like bottles of vitamins come in, or anything like that. And then you can paint the box, or you can do like I did and use little bits of yarn. And I use these little puffy balls. You could use buttons, or you could paint yours or put stickers on it. But you can make your own little Terrence the Box Turtle, showing off his own individual style. Isn't that fun? Look at that. You can make a whole family if you like. But it's a really neat way to use your imagination and use materials that you already have around the house, do a little bit of upcycling. And just to keep in mind that message of who we all are as our individual selves is just great. Okay, like I said, please come on in and take a look around at their new space. Just remember that it is grab and go, so come in, look around, pick up some brand new books like these picture books I read to you today, and check out so more people can come in and take a look around. We hope to see you soon. Bye.